Alright guys, my name is Shervin. Welcome to my channel. It looks like WealthSimple is coming out with another credit card. Now, we recently, of course, covered their brand new WealthSimple Visa Infinite credit card, but it looks like they're about to announce another one in the form of the WealthSimple Visa Infinite Privilege card. Now, of course, these are not confirmed yet, but I have heard this rumor before, and it looks like there are some leaks that are indicating the same thing, so it looks very likely at this point. And let's be honest, most banks and financial institutions that offer a Visa Infinite credit card, they at some point also introduce a Visa Infinite Privilege credit card as well, which is a little bit of a more premium version of that Visa Infinite card. Of course, some famous examples of these are the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite Privilege card, which was just announced about a year or so ago. And of course, we have all the Aeroplan Visa Infinite Privilege cards. We have the TD one, we have the CIBC one. There's a lot of different ones that you can point to. There's, of course, the Scotiabank Momentum Visa Infinite Privilege card. There's a lot of different ones. But basically what the Visa Infinite Privilege cards are basically more premium version that costs more. So these usually cost somewhere around $500 to $600 or something along those lines. And they offer even more features than the regular Visa Infinite credit card. Now, of course, the WealthSimple Visa Infinite card that was announced earlier this year. And by the way, still to this day, if you want to get it, you have to go on a wait list. So to this day, it's still not as easy as just applying for it and getting it right away. But of course, that card offered a number of very interesting features. It offered 2% cash back on basically everything that you spend. And on top of that, no foreign transaction fees. And of course, the annual fee, which was just up to $240 a year, could be waived if you have enough money invested with WealthSimple. And of course, on top of that, you could get a metal card if you had $100,000 or more in your WealthSimple account. You could also get the fee waived, by the way, if you simply put your income as a direct deposit into your WealthSimple savings account. And yeah, so basically a lot of interesting features that it was offering. And particularly if you could get this card for free, it's a very good deal. Now, if you can't get the card for free, especially now that the fee has gone up quite a bit, it's a little bit more of a tricky situation. But if you could get the card for free, it was a very good card. And of course, I did a full video where I went over exactly what this card is good for, who this card applies to. I will leave some links up here. And of course, I did a new video where I went over the higher fee as well. But what are they going to do with the new card? That's a real question. And I think it's important to talk about the card, even though it's still not super confirmed and we don't know when it's coming out. So the rumors are suggesting that it's going to be coming out sometime in 2026. Now, that means that we're probably at least 6 months, maybe a year off from that card coming out. But I think it's important that we discuss what we think of the card right now, because if the card is significant enough, if it's good enough, then you might be in a situation where you might say, you know what, maybe I'll just wait for that card to come out and I won't go for this card, or I won't go from another card that I was considering. So I think it's important that we discuss what we think that card is going to look like. But before we get into it, if you get value from this video, do me a favor and smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to get more updates about this card as we get more information, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get all the latest info as soon as it comes out. But with all that said, let's go ahead and take a look at what Visa Infinite cards, or Visa Infinite Privilege cards, I should say, usually offer. Now, we're on the Visa website, and of course, the Visa Infinite Privilege is a name that a lot of different banks and a lot of different financial institutions use. And the reason why they use that is because it means certain things. So if you have the Visa Infinite card, that means that you get some features like some lounge access. You might get something like a foreign transaction fee being waived or something like that. When you have a Visa Infinite Privilege card, basically what Visa is promoting is that it often means a lot of airport lounge access. It often means some benefits with booking hotels and stays and all that stuff. You get some other benefits, such as with Open Table. We get some dining series. There are some Toronto International Film Festival perks there. A bunch of perks, or if you are into soccer, if you want to watch the Canadian national team, you get some benefits there. You, of course, have the complimentary concierge. This is a feature that is very similar to what the Amex Platinum offers, where because it's a very premium credit card, you basically kind of have your own assistant that can help you with things. Like if you need to book, let's say, tickets for a certain event, and you know, like the tickets are going to go live like in a week, but you know, you're probably not going to be there the moment they go live to get it. You want someone to help you out with that or stuff like that, right? If you have requests of that sort, your concierge could help you with that. Which again could be beneficial, especially if you're a very busy person and if you have odd requests like that, right? Now, On top of all of these, the Visa Infinite Privilege cards often even give more value because they are so much more expensive to own to make it worthwhile for the customer. So for example, if we take a look at the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite Privilege card, you know, the Passport Visa Infinite card, not the Privilege, the regular Visa Infinite, that costs about $150 a year to own, and it already gets you a lot of perks, like a certain amount of lounge access, and also it gets you a no foreign transaction fee. So what does this card get you at $600? So that's a lot more expensive than the Visa Infinite card that is only $150. In order to bridge that gap, so the first thing they do is they offer you, and let me see if I can find it here, there it is, they give you a $250 annual travel credit, right? So that basically means that when you go to book your travel, whether it's a flight or a stay, whatever, and you use your card and you do it through the Visa platform, you get $250 of that already paid because you have the credit card, right? So if it costs you, let's say, $500 to book that thing, $250 of that is going to be covered one time a year, right? So in that sense, you're getting $250 back from the fee that you're paying. So really and realistically, if you do use that $250 annual fee every single year, you're really only paying $350 out of pocket. So that right there bridges the gap a lot more, so that the extra features that they're offering, even though they're not like earth-shattering or 4 times better compared to the regular Visa Infinite card, you know, they're trying to kind of bridge that gap with the fee so that if the features are only a little bit better, it's still worthwhile for you because you're still getting some of that annual fee back in terms of when it comes to booking your travel through the Visa platform. You do get, for example, with the Scotia Passport Visa Infinite Privilege card, you get 10 complimentary airport lounge visits per year, whereas with the Visa Infinite card, you would get 6. Now, of course, it's not incredibly higher. It's not like it's unlimited, or it's not like it's like 3 times as much or something, but it's a little bit more to give you a little bit more headroom so you feel you're getting more perks. Of course, a lot of the coverages that the card has are a lot more than the regular Visa Infinite card. For example, here I have both the Visa Infinite Scotiabank Passport and the Visa Infinite Privilege Passport. And as you can see right here, in a number of areas, the coverages are quite a bit higher with the Visa Infinite Privilege. So for example, for lost or stolen baggage, instead of $1,000, it's $2,500 per person, $5,000 max per trip. Instead of $1,000 on baggage, I mean, baggage delay is the same actually. But for the car rental, instead of $65,000, it's $85,000. For travel accident, it's the same. Extended warranty, instead of being 1 year, it's 2 years. Purchase protection, instead of being 90 days, it's 180 days, which is immense. I mean, 6 months of purchase protection means that even up to 6 months after you buy something, if it gets accidentally damaged or if it's stolen or whatever, up to 6 months, you have that coverage. And look at this, hotel burglary insurance, $1,000 to $2,500. That's a lot better. Like if you have an expensive laptop that gets stolen, $1,000 is not really going to cover much of that, right? Particularly if you have like a really high end, let's say MacBook or something like that, which is like $2,500, $3,000, something like that. You're going to get a lot better value return from the privilege card. If you're looking to like go on a long trip, you're insured up to 25 days for emergency medical insurance with the Passport Visa Infinite, but it's up to 31 days and it's double or even more than double the amount. It's up to $5 million. So a little bit more, like 6 more days, but quite a bit more in terms of the insurance amount. So yeah, even trip cancellation, trip interruption, you can see it there. A lot of these are double or something along those lines. And also the Visa Infinite card doesn't have mobile device insurance, whereas the Visa Infinite Privilege card does. Now, this is a very good one. It basically is the insurance where if you buy your phone with this card, if you at any point up to 2 years after you buy it, you have accidental damage or if it's stolen or something, up to 2 years, you are covered up to $1,000, which is a very, very good protection to have. Probably the most beneficial one in my opinion, because so like for me as an iPhone owner, I would need to get Apple Care Plus for about $200 or something like that, which covers you up to 2 years for accidental damage. But because I have like a card like this, or well, in my case, I have the Amex Cobalt and the Platinum and all those stuff. But if I didn't, let's say I didn't have those cards. If I had a card like the Visa Infinite Privilege card, what that would get me is this protection for 2 years up to $1,000. So if I have accidental damage to my phone, I can get that repaired. And usually it doesn't cost more than $1,000 to get a phone repaired, unless like you've absolutely destroyed that phone beyond repair at that point. But so I think that's very good. And on top of that, you have a bunch of other benefits that you get as well. We already talked about the travel credit and stuff like that. So you can see in a lot of areas, they are getting you a lot more value with the higher price of the card. Now, I do anticipate something similar to happen with the WealthSimple Visa Infinite Privilege card. Just a quick look at the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite Privilege card as well. Again, this card also costs $600. Another example of a Visa Infinite Privilege card. And it does get you a bunch of stuff like access to, for this case, Maple Leaf Airport lounges, and a bunch of other stuff, higher points, higher coverages, etc., compared to the Visa Infinite version of the same thing. So what do we think about the WealthSimple Visa Infinite Privilege card? Now, I do anticipate the foreign transaction fee to stay similar to the Scotiabank card. I do anticipate the annual fee to be about like $600 or so. It might be slightly higher, especially given that they just increased the fee for the regular Visa Infinite card. I do think it's going to be metal. So for the Visa Infinite card, you only get a metal card if you have $100,000 invested with WealthSimple. If you don't, you get a plastic card. What I think is going to happen is that I think everyone across the board is going to get a metal card for the Visa Infinite Privilege card. That's just my guess. I don't have any information on that. I'm just guessing that's what they're going to do. And I think they will have a similar thing where they will waive your fee if you have a certain amount. But I think, realistically, if you need to have $100,000 invested with WealthSimple to get the fee waived for the Visa Infinite card, I think for the Visa Infinite Privilege card, again, my guess, I think you probably would need like 500,000, $500,000. That sounds about right to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be like something a little bit less, like 300,000. But I think it has to be something very substantial for them to waive the fee. Or maybe they just don't waive the fee. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But in terms of cashback, this is the real big question for me. I don't know if it's going to be that much higher. But I'll say this. If they give you let's say 3% cash back on everything, then that card becomes a card that we really need to consider. Because 3% cash back on everything is immense, even though the fee is high, particularly if they give you some of the fee back in terms of a travel credit, right? So again, we saw that with the Scotiabank Visa Infinite Privilege card. They give you $250 of that back in terms of the travel credit. If they give you something similar in terms of travel credit, whether it's $200, $250, $300, if they give you something like that back, you still have the no foreign transaction fee, and you get a higher cashback rate, let's say 3%, and you get better coverages. So they've recently announced some coverages that are coming to the Visa Infinite card. If you get even better coverages than those, then all of a sudden we're looking at a card that seems very, very worth the higher fee and almost worth the investment over some of the other cards. It could even end up being a better option, and I don't say this lightly, than the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite Privilege. Now, the one thing I'll say is that this card does get you access to 10 airport lounges per year, whereas I don't know if the WealthSimple card is going to get you that. It's possible. I mean, again, if you look at the Visa Infinite Privilege, one of their core benefits is the airport lounge access. So I assume it would. So just dream with me a little bit here. This might seem unrealistic, and maybe it is, but just dream with me a little bit. Let's say we get something along the lines of 10 airport lounge access per year. We get 3% back on everything. We get no foreign transaction fee. We get a metal card for everyone, even if you don't have your fee waived. And let's say it costs you $600 and you get about, let's say, 200 of that back or 250 of that back in terms of a travel credit. That looks pretty good to me, to be honest with you. I know it's an expensive card to have, but I think you are getting enough value where it's perhaps worth the investment. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think these are realistic expectations that I have, or do you think I'm just being way too optimistic? There's no way they give us all these amazing things. It's possible. I mean, that might be the case. We'll see. We have to wait and see what happens. And when do you think the card is going to come out? My guess would be sometime in the middle of 2026. So maybe May, June of 2026 is my guess. But again, I'm just going based on rumors and stuff like that. I don't know anything for a fact. Maybe it ends up being a lot earlier than that, or maybe it ends up being a lot later than that. Because again, even with the Visa Infinite card, they're kind of struggling to make that available for everyone right away. It's still a waitlist situation. They still have a lot of people signed up to the waitlist. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to do all the things. Smash the like down below. Make sure you're subscribed. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.